go ahead and get into it. Now before, real quick, a couple of disclosures. I try to say this before and it always just goes right over some people's heads. The point of this video is recreation. There is no police, law enforcement agency, anything out there making a decision on their next battle rifle based off of the opinion of some basketball short wearing Texan has to say. These are my personal guns. I like them all, and we're just gonna go ahead and talk about them. I'm gonna blast you guys with a little bit of information. If you guys want that, you guys rewind, pause, take a look at all that if you want. But really, I have to be honest, this is my second take with this. I already shot this video and I went, honestly, it was way too long. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. We're gonna do a couple little pretty pictures per gun, drop all the specs there, and you guys can just go ahead and pause if you really want all the specs, which I don't blame you if you do. So here's that for you, and then after that, we're just gonna go ahead and get shooting. We'll go ahead and pop off a couple shots, starting off with the AUG here. Before we do, let's talk about a little bit of manual of arms. Right here, we got this big old block, and that is our safety selector. Push it off to the left. You see a little red dot. Red is dead. Your mag release is right here. I got the mags loaded, so we won't use them right now, but if the mag was in there, you go ahead and press this while pulling it down. Got your charging handle here. You can manually lock it up if you push up on it enough. There we go. Yeah, you got a little vertical grip here. Super comfortable. You can pull that out of the way as well. Just 5 shots real quickly, and then you'll see just how tactical I am. Got 3 rounds here. We're gonna do a little reload, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and cycle it up. Locks the back, go ahead and pull that out. Struggle with the basketball shorts. New one in. Then we go ahead and pull this back. All right. That was probably a new land speed record. But as I put that on there, good opportunity to say, once again, thanks to Saunter Shop for sponsoring this video. They make suppressor ownership much more simplified. In fact, I've actually got an E-form process also in like an SBR. Got a couple SBRs done through them as well. Makes setting up a truss a lot easier. So Saunter Shop, I really appreciate you guys. We're gonna go away from the steel just to hear it. Moving on over to the FS2000 manual of arms. We got a rotary dial for safe and fire, just like the PS90. You want to adjust the gas system. It's just like a SCAR 16, 17, and 20, which is interesting because this came after the P90, but it came before the SCARs, so you see some commonality there, kind of interesting. The barrel is pin and welded with the flash hider, so no suppression going to be shown here, unfortunately. Don't know why they did that. You have your mag here. You can go ahead and release it by pressing up here, just like the AUG, but on the other side of it. And unfortunately, I cannot show you one of my patented speedy reloads because I only brought one of my GI mags. Okay, so bear with me. So yeah, there's that. I went ahead and manually locked that up there, but it does not lock back through the charging handle on the last round. Cycled up, go ahead and put on fire. I think I put 5 in here. So you get a click on that last round so it doesn't hold open, just like a MP5. Go ahead and bring the charging handle back, lock it up. This is when you could go ahead and grab this, throw it down, get a new mag, and once you manually lock this back, you go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you, again, with the pin and welded muzzle brake, I haven't shot suppressed, but I'm thinking what might happen if I just hold it still, that should be good. Just kidding. All right, IWI X95 Tovor Mag Release, where your index finger lies, right here, like an AR-15. You got that on both sides. Fire selector right here. Kind of ambi, kind of not really. You just kind of see where it's at, but you don't really have the lever. I mean, you know, technically, there you go. To release the bolt, you just slap it right here. You guys will see that on my speedy reload. Go ahead and drop a mag, get a new one, put that in there, slap it. Very flat recoil impulse, much flatter than that FS2000 for sure. All right, up next we got the Springfield Armory Hellion. It used to be black, last you guys saw it. Went ahead and added a little bit of rattle can green on there. Hopefully you guys like it. If not, well, too bad. Okay, manual of arms. We got our safety selector, ambi, on both sides, as you can see. It's got a pretty short throw to it. Initially, I didn't care for it. I'll be honest, the more I use it, the more comfortable I'm getting with it. I actually don't have to come off the grip so much. It's actually in reach, so I'm just getting better with it. Charging handle folds off either side, but it's dead in the middle, kind of like a G36. And when we do that, I got the ejection off to the right. You can swap it off to the left if you so wish. Your bolt release is right here. To release the mag, we're gonna go ahead and pull down here, throw that to the ground, grab our new one, do one of these numbers, little pinch. And there it is. What was my time, Jesse? All right, and lastly, we got the Desert Tech MDRX. We got a charging handle on both sides, so we could go ahead and manually get that to lock back. Mag release on both sides as well, totally ambi, fire selector as well. To release the bolt, we go ahead and press up on here. Go ahead and release it, drop it free, go ahead and put a new one in there, snap. You can do that with your thumb like this. Very nice. Very nice. I would say of all the Bullpups, if you're coming from an AR-15, the ones that are going to feel the most familiar to you is going to be this and the X95. Based off just where the mag release is and the fact that you don't have to strip it down yourself, and the fact that they just drop free helps as far as that familiarity. But everything gets familiar once you use it enough. So there you go. That's nice. All right, all of them are loaded and chambered, 5 rounds each. Interesting. What's the verdict? You should get all of them. All right, first off, sorry for the wind. I'm gonna try to yell loud enough here. Let's go in order. The AUG, it's a good feeling Bullpup. It's a very flat recoil impulse, but not the softest shooting, but it's also the lightest. So it gets a pass there. It's also probably one of the coolest silhouettes. More often than not, it's the crowd favorite among Bullpups, okay? Moving over to the FS2000, again, the most expensive here from street price. It's actually the most violent as far as recoil impulse. It doesn't stay on target the best. But yeah, nonetheless, it is an FS2000. It's kind of a unicorn, and for that reason, it's pretty cool. But as far as shooting goes, yeah, probably the least practical of all of them here. But it's okay, we still love her. The Hellion. Once we went from the AUG, FS2000, and Hellion, the Hellion, or the VHS2, was the first one to feel actually clean and modern between its recoil impulse, the trigger, all of that. One thing I should mention as well, it's got an adjustable length of pull, interestingly enough. It's a great suppressor host. And everything's ambi, which is super cool. But the controls, I'm only learning to get more and more comfortable with it. It's soft shooting, suppressed or unsuppressed. Can't complain much about the Hellion. Jumping over to the X95, again, I've made a comparison between just these two, Hellion and X95, and it was actually pretty darn close. It's a tough call between those two, I'm not gonna lie. Might still be slightly leaning towards that X95. The controls on it are awesome, where the mag release is, how easy it is to release the bolt, all that stuff. In fact, you can do it like that. I really like this gun. The weight distribution, the build quality, all of that. It's fantastic. If it had an adjustable gas system, I think it'd be just absolutely king. Then we go ahead and finish off with the MDRX, which is the most modern of them all. You have a multi-caliber design. You could choose between all kinds of calibers. Totally ambi, all that stuff again. It is a little bit heavier, not gonna lie. I have to say, it almost seems like the X95 Tovor felt softer, but for whatever reason, this one was on target more. I don't know what's up with that. It's a very, very weird thing. It's all very good. But once we go Hellion and beyond, the triggers are much improved. They're way flatter shooting. As far as the best trigger on all of these, I would say it's kind of a toss-up between X95 and MDRX. I think I'll give that edge ever so slightly to the MDRX, then Tavor, followed very, very closely to the Hellion. These two are atrocious triggers. You could probably get something done as far as the AUG, but from the factory, these three are certainly better. I guess that's kind of the summary with all of them. Rather than making a 2-hour-long video, kind of a quick summary. We'll rank them in just a second, but every single one of these guns has its independent video with a little bit more context. The AUG's got 2 videos actually, so there you go. If I were to rank them, and this is where I'm going to trigger some people, but again, this is my opinion, just for fun, recreation. As far as just absolute familiarity, if I just had a run and gun with one, I still think I'm going X95. I might have to give it a second place tie between Hellion and MDRX. I didn't expect that to happen, but I'll put those two head on. Right below the X95, it's splitting hairs. Below that, I'm gonna go with AUG, then FS2000 if we're talking about functionality. once we talk about cool factor and kind of collection sake, the whole plot scattered everywhere, but I don't know. But what I do know is nothing's more divisive than bullpups. Any single time I made a comparison between bullpups or whatever, people are really heavy on their opinions. So go ahead and start a fight in the comments section. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Anyway, that does it for this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks again, Silencer Shop, for sponsoring this video. Check them out to make suppressor ownership much more of a simplified process. But yeah, that does it. See you guys next time. Take care.